Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we've got a map which was never intended for public release, but the legend, that is Mr. Miyagi, got behind the creator and said, you have got to share this. This is too good not to share. And he was right. He was so right. Now, because it was not prepared for public release, it does have some minor problems with it. And it's my job to point out some of these minor problems with it. And it's your job as fully grown, mature adults to say, we don't care. We're playing this map anyway. It's freaking glorious. It's so freaking glorious. I could not condense the show shorter than it is. It's an extra special long show today, and it is going to be a wonder. And what do we do with things that make us wonder? That's right, we stamp down on that like button as hard as we can because it really does support the channel. Thank you very much for your ongoing support. Today's map is Fisher's Bay by Interstellar. Interstellar rings a bell for me. I figure I should know who this Interstellar is, but let's crack on, shall we? There's your start square. We've got a couple of highway accesses on either side of the river and, of course, the river, and plenty of flat build space. Terrain height is lovely. It's not perfectly flat, but it is smooth and lightly undulating. Resources look like this. It's basically field painting, but with ore, and it's not pretty. If anything, that's probably the weakest part of the map. Fishing is good. Fishing's very, very good. Can't grumble about that at all. And then off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, you do need mass transit. You will need mass transit for this one. And there is a one-click collection, but do have a little read of the description there. There is a theme mix using Theme Mixer 2, but you could just Laviante 2.0 on its own. But the theme mixer is good, and we'll be using the Laviante LUT as well. There's a little bit of a one-click collection going on there, including the Railway Replacer mod, various trees and rocks. In fact, the list is moderate length, but again, it was never intended for a full release, so they haven't really optimized the list. But it's definitely not the longest list we've seen at all. We've seen some like 4 or 5 times its length. So yes, it's pretty solid. It's pretty damn solid, this list. And Network Extensions 2 is on this list as well, which is quite a hearty thing, but it's worth it. If you've got the system for it, I promise you this map is absolutely worth it. Right, so and down to I have sped this for this was recorded fairly slow, and I've sped the footage up to try and condense it. I was trying to get it down to under 20 minutes. I just could not get the show to under 20 minutes. Nice little elevated crossing there. Excellent work, neatly done. And again, like there will be some minor grumbles here, and some things I just won't even bother showing you. Like a little bit of road glitching there, tiny bit. This is off towards the edge of the map. You probably won't care. Good height there for the bridge. Really nice indeed. And we'll keep flying. I'm not going to do this. You can't do this map justice in 20 minutes. It just won't happen. Pretty good lane merge. A little bit of bowing there. Let's just. The one thing I'm going to fix. I'm just going to move in these lanes a bit, and it's pushing it right to the limit. Now I want to have my cake and I want to eat it. I've just pushed that to the limit. A bit later on, you're going to see some lanes that have been pushed to the limit and glitch slightly. You can't have it both ways. Look at this. Look at this. Tell me you don't like it. Tell me. Okay, you're lying. You're lying. You freaking love that, don't you? We've got some really nice intersections, but nothing in the middle of the map. Oh, also check out this, right? We've got Network Extensions 2. I've got so many things going on. Network Extensions 2, but also mass transit. 2-lane highways. Pick one, stick with it. Mixing and matching is a bit odd, and there is actually a couple of places where it will look pretty odd later on. You'll see plenty of things I will not be mentioning today because I cannot possibly mention everything. It is just so full on with today's show. Now, I was suffering a degree of lag. I mean, I've got the graphics turned right up. There's a hell of a lot of trees in this little patch of the map. So if it looks a bit laggy, it was lagging for me as well. Oh, here's a little minor thing. Minor thing. Left-hand highway, completely, perfectly straight. right hand highway is a little bit wiggly, and I had this exact same thing with my map St Catherine's Point. I don't know what causes it. I don't know. I think maybe the parallel road tool will have eliminated that issue now, but yeah, that was just a weird one as well. Anyway, highways are absolutely on point, with a little bit of a occasional grumble here and there. Minor stuff. All of the stuff in here that if I'm mentioning it, you'll look at it and you can fix it in a couple of clicks mostly. And that's often the case actually with maps with problems, but this map's just got so much going for it that I feel that pretty much all of the problems you're going to overlook. You're just going to overlook and you're going to play it anyway. All of the intersections are away from I've said this already, away from the centre. This is pretty close to the edge of the map. You can probably see the edge of the map on the right there as well. Again, it's just a freaking glorious intersection. A few of you might complain there's too many nodes and segments being used for not towards the centre of the map. I don't care. Shut up. Pillars aren't in the highways when I thought they were going to be there. Couldn't find any streetlight clipping anywhere, which is excellent work as well. A little bit of, it's being pushed too close together. Look at that. Cake and eat it, BonBon. Cake and eat it. And again, look, there's your network extensions going into mass transits. That's just a bit odd. Make up your mind. So that's off towards the edge of the map over that way. Let's follow this route instead, shall we? And again, we've just got just a little bit of strain going on the highway there, but it's okay. Right, let's keep moving on. Right, this highway now runs along parallel with the edge of the map. We're relative. This would be with the fog switched on in slight medium fog. So you probably won't be looking at this. And if you're playing vanilla rules, i.e. buying the 9 tiles one at a time, you'll never see out this far at all. So I don't actually mind that there are patches without any foliage like this. It's fine. It's fine. It's focused in the areas where there are things going on. Like now, you see trees are coming back in, which means that things are going to get interesting. And we'll have another freaking glorious intersection in a minute. But this is just another really lovely area, which is going to cause your system to lag if you've got your graphics turned right up, which I decided I was going to do, and kind of regretted it. I was getting a bit of a headache by the end of the fly through. Oh dear! But that's not the creator's fault. That's not the creator's fault. It's you know what you're taking on when you see this list of trees and you open up this map. I could have turned the graphic settings down, but this is YouTube, and the quality isn't necessarily the greatest. More beautiful intersection going on here. I don't know what to say. It is absolutely lovely. Now, most of the problems we've seen so far have been out and away towards the edge of the map. We're going to see a couple soon that are now, we're heading down towards the start square now. I've gone the long route. There was a quicker route, but it was worth the route, worth the distance, I feel. A couple of minor highway issues down here, which are towards the start square, which for me are bigger issues. Not huge problems at all, but are bigger issues than the ones we've seen so far. The first one is coming up. Yeah, here we go. Just a little bit of terrain issue going on. It just looks a bit weird there. Again, easy to fix, not a problem for most of us. And then if we've got a lovely little crossover here, that's neat and tidy. And if we keep heading now, our next stop will be the start square intersection. And again, glorious work. I don't know what to say. I'm just going to keep saying it's glorious work. The entire map is absolutely glorious. 4-lane highways is going to be busy. You're going to have a big, busy old city going on here, or you'll be able to handle a big old city if that's what you want to go for. You've got the room to build one as well, so why not? Even the dry river on the left there, we're not even going to be looking at those today because there's just too much other stuff to be looking at today. And just be aware that I have noticed that there's some very nice dry rivers. Start square intersection right here, and that's a pretty slick one as well. If we give it a little spin round, we can zoom out and zoom in. And we'll be zooming in to an asset from a creator I don't think we've seen on the show before, which is always nice. This is yinzerr. And this is Burgatory, which I do believe is probably a brand of burger restaurants in America. Never heard of them, but what a great name. Burgatory, you win the award for the name of the day, I feel. So yinzerr for that matter. Factoids, because factoids. Okay, this is going to date this factoid book, yeah? The world's tallest building, the Sears Tower, yeah, that's an old book, yellowing pages, was finally topped off on this day in the 4th of May, on the 4th of May in 1974. It has the same number of stories as its closest rival, yes, you've guessed it, the World Trade Center at 110. But at 1,454 feet, it is 104 feet higher, or was 104 feet higher. And didn't it switch places back? Didn't they put like an aerial or something on the top? I don't know, it's very, very confusing. But anyway, yes, marvellous, marvellous old factoids. Completely obsolete, but that was today's date anyway. Burgatory by yinzerr. Love this. Absolutely love it. Gotta use it. Gotta grab it. In fact, I already have. I've just got to remember not to unsubscribe to it. I want to get back to Duvo, and that would fit. But where I'm expanding out into in Duvo, if ever I get back to it, that will fit beautifully. You have a little restaurant and club area, and that is going to be absolutely lovely. Time, I just need more time. Give me time. Okay, heading down to this peninsula where we have a roundabout at the end there, which is nice little loop back roundabout. And look, conveniently, we've got a dead end rail. We're going to follow the rail back. Now, the rail is excellent on this map. We've got a little bit of glitching here and there, which you're not going to need any help for me to point out. But there is an anomaly. Now, do you remember when we were on the workshop page a little bit earlier on, I said Railway Replacer mod? And you went, oh yeah, I see it. And, well, this is vanilla. What you're looking at there, that's vanilla. I'm going to zoom in a minute, and I'm going to show you, okay? But, yeah, the route it's taking is fine. It's really quite lovely. This is actually, the whole area here is based on the coast, north coast of Brittany, or that sort of area on the north coast of France, facing towards the United Kingdom. Here we go. So this is the... that's your vanilla, okay, and then if we come across this way, you'll notice a bit of glitchy, blue mantle, extreme, and this is Railway Replacer mod, much nicer. Obviously, it's got to be. I don't understand why we didn't use Railway Replacer mod assets throughout. I think it would have. I mean, we're already at the glorious levels, and this is just going to be taking it to the next level. Had we done that. It was kind of like mixing and matching mass transit highways and Network Extension 2 highways. There's just a few anomalies. But again, if there was no plan to share it with the public, I guess you're just kind of doodling with assets and producing something really lovely that you like. And that's what Interstellar has done. And the blame for all of these errors, well, it's mine for seeing them. Absolutely. Oh dear, it is a lovely map, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, we're carrying on. You may notice on the left hand side there we have another line. We do have some catenary portals there, just standing straddle of the rail lines there, and then we have a little bit of blue mantle just glitching through there, and then we have a really lovely abandoned rail line. I'll put my hand up. I don't mind this because I've done exactly the same thing in my first map. Anybody remember Merrickstowe? Anybody remember the collapsed bridge? Oh yeah, that was me. But yeah, it's fine. More than one abandoned railway line in the world. I don't mind people copying my ideas, even when they're not copying my ideas. Anyways, we follow the rail line on and off towards the edge of the map, which means nice little bridge there. Again, though, the transition between vanilla and railway mod. And then off the edge of the map, which means it's time for an intermission. we are back to Fisher's Bay by Interstellar and the shipping routes. And we have right angle turnings. Now, is it a game breaker? No. Is it attention to the next level of detail? Also no. Is it intended to be played by other people? No, but this is just little things. The mysterious turning ships on the sixpence. Mind you, it is kind of off in the fog, most of those, so you probably won't see it when the fog is switched on. But I've got to point it out because that's my job. Then you have a water. We've got some lovely rivers. Now, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt here because there is a weird thing going on. And I'm going to say that this is a tidal river. And I believe that because look at the marshland there. Okay, I'm kind of seeing that as like a storage area because the water is actually coming in from the coast. See that? From the coast over there. Now, if it's coming in from the coast, let's follow the water in at in full Technicolor. And first of all, you'll go, oh, this is a lovely looking river, isn't it? It is actually a really lovely looking river. We'll follow it in. It just bends and winds. And then this area is really lovely. This has got a lot of work gone into it. Because all this isn't land. This is water. You can see the water moving under there. Let's move in a little bit further. Over here, this little patch. Yep, that's proper marsh. This is as nicely done. I mean, a hell of a lot of assets gone into that. Lag central possibly. But my goodness me, worth it. That end result, close up, is worth it. Now, if you have a look here, the water is still moving. Yeah, moving a little bit further up to... this is the area, actually. If you have a little look here, coming through here, the water is coming towards us. And then a little bit further downstream, not much further. Let me just go into water tool. That's the easiest way to do it. There you go. There's your spawn point. And the water is flowing both directions towards that. So I'm seeing this as a tidal river with the water basically pushing in at this moment. But I can believe that. You know, I can actually buy into that. Okay, now over here, this is all ore. I like the colour of it. But you won't be using this if you're playing proper industries and yeah, you got my gist. Yeah, you've got my gist. This is all the wrong sort of resource. But hey, I love the colour of it. If you're playing an aesthetic build, that's fine. Oh, now this is that marshland and the LOD on it, the LOD on it, if you pull out and you pull in, depending on distance, you may have some screenshot issues. I'm being as picky as I can here, okay? I'm trying to find things to moan about when there's really, I mean, honestly, I could just review this and ignore things like that. Now, I've got a little patch of these water reed things here. I think that's been done instead using the Move It copy and paste instead of the forest brush. Let me show you. I reckon what they've done is they have done this. Bump, 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 bump. And that's fine. That's fine. And then I think they've forgotten. Let me just undo. Is there an undo button for this? There isn't. I mean, I'll have to delete it. Right. So yes, what I think they've done is they've done that, and then they've forgotten to remove their little palette of plants there. I've got something very similar over here in the hills. This is again just minor pickiness. This is, yeah, just get the bulldoze on this. I reckon this hill was supposed to be covered in grasses, and then they changed their mind. That's what I'm thinking. Or maybe this is actually being used in the water as well. I don't know. But these aren't terrain conforming, so I'm glad if this was intended to be used for the whole hill that it hasn't been, because that just doesn't work. I think that's probably grasses in that marsh as well, for that matter, actually, now I think about it. What more can we have a look at? Now, over here, we have got a little tourist destination. I do like a tourist destination. I think this was Chatsworth House, which, if I remember rightly, is on the Isle of Wight, which is not too far from me. I could be wrong. Certainly England. Oh, yeah. And we have got... It's just a magnificent building. And it just sort of adds a little bit of character to the map. You may possibly want to just delete it, but I wouldn't. I'd work with it. I would absolutely work with it. It's a great asset. This isn't the asset review section, by the way, but it's a great asset. I'm loving the way the gardens have been done. There's one or two minor, well, let's say one minor grumble over here. You may have noticed the tree on the path there, but I am loving the way that the trees have been dotted and deliberately missed in places along here. That's really very nice, and also like the mix of trees. An excellent choice of mix of trees there. In fact, across the entire map there is. Gotta say, I'm not sold on this guy at all. That could be deleted straight away. It's not clipped very nicely into the terrain, and I'll be very happy for that just not to have existed. But as things go, I wouldn't worry. Okay, some really nice rock work with the Grey Flames new rocks there. These are amazing work as well. And one last thing to come. I haven't seen an essential lighthouse as well framed as the one you're about to see. Okay, this is an amazing bit of framing. I mean, just use all of the props. Okay, just use all of the props. Oh my gosh, that essential lighthouse looks absolutely amazing in this position. That's superb work. There's a lot of superb work here, and a few minor things to grumble about, but you were warned in advance to shut up. Okay, we do have a little pre-cut harbour over here that some of you be okay with, some of you won't. If you want to use that, obviously you'll need to use Anarchy. Somebody did ask me the other day. A little bit of glitching along the side there. That's fairly easy to fix. It's a fiddly thing. It's a fiddly thing. It's actually tougher to sort out the terrain over here, but there are little mods that we can use to fix that as well. But as things go, I don't care. I don't care. The harbour is fine. Anyways, right, so we're near the end of the show. Over 20 minutes already. What do you think of this map? Tell me you don't like it. Go on, tell me you don't like it. I love liars. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We'll use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. And it's already started off as a strong month. This is going to be a tough month if it carries on like this. Wow. Aesthetically, okay, I'm going to say it, I freaking love it. I absolutely freaking love it. Don't see what I would do to change it at all. I'm going to give it, despite the extra bit of foliage that was forgotten to be deleted, I'm still going to give it 5 stars. 5 stars for aesthetics. Detailing of the highest standards with a few niggly bits. Quite a few niggly bits, but nowhere near enough niggly bits to drop to 3 stars. It's 4 stars through and through. Really very nice, considering it wasn't meant to be shared. 4 stars, lovely. Gameplay potential, very playable. The only reason why it doesn't get 5 stars is because there is quite so many niggly bits that will want tinkering with. So I'm going to go 4 stars, but honestly I think this creator was intending to share it publicly from the start. This would have been an all-star map. I have no doubt about that at all. Fisher's Bay by Interstellar. This is absolutely gorgeous, don't you think? I know the BonBonB's seal of approval thinks so. Wow, that is a cracking start to the week. Interstellar, thank you very much for listening to Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi, thank you very much for prodding Interstellar. That was a dream. Yes, lots of little grumbles there, but please, anybody who hears me grumble about anything, it's just a game. It's just a game. And it helps you make a better map next time, if that's the sort of thing that you want to do. Right, anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. We'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series, and it'll be a request map. Whose request map will it be? We'll find out tomorrow. Thanks for watching.